In this simple woodworking project, I'll design a four-sided box with a bottom. The sides will be joined with finger joints, and the bottom will fit into a slot in the four sides. All of the parts will be built referencing something called a skeleton sketch part, which will house the basic sketches, and the dimensions will reference global variables. I'll start by creating the skeleton sketch part. First step, I'll import the global variables from an equations text file. And these are just the basic dimensions that will be used in the creation of this project. An equations file is just a simple text file. And this one I exported from another project and just whittled it down for use in this one. The first sketch I'll make will be an overhead view of the box. Apply the length and width dimensions. Here you can see me pulling in the global variable. I like to copy the variable name and paste it in the dimension text so that it shows up in the sketch. It allows me to see easily that the red sigma tells me that the dimension references a global variable, and then the text tells me which one. It's not entirely necessary, but I think it helps. Now I'll use offset entity to create the interior side of the box. Can't reference a global variable when I create it using offset entity, but I can add it after the offset entity is in the sketch. So here the offset will be the thickness of the sides. And that's it for the first sketch. Next, I'll create the front plane, box front plane, to draw the front of the box, the sketch for the front of the box on. And rather than reference these dimensions, have these dimensions reference the global variables, I'll just tie them to the top sketch. The two sides will be made coincident to the outer edges of the top sketch. The bottom will be made coincident with the origin. Now I do have to specify the height. Okay, now I need to add the geometry for the slot that'll hold the bottom. I'll start by drawing a construction line that represents the thickness of the mating piece, the side. Here I'm making it coincident to the inside line on the top sketch. Now here I'll draw the bottom slot but only halfway. I'll explain in a second. I had the box bottom thickness here. So most of the time the bottom is not quite as thick as the side, so that's why I have a different dimension for it. Now, this dimension represents the depth of the dado into the side. That's how deep the slot goes. Or it's actually a rabbet, I think. And then the box bottom offset is the how far the slot is off the bottom edge of the side. Here I'll make the back part of that slot coincident with origin. Then I'm going to mirror it around the right plane, so I don't have to draw the dimension on the other side. I'm not sure if this is the way you're supposed to do this, but I like putting the dimensions in a box as few times as possible. I don't like repeating the same dimension, so I try to. This is my way of kind of minimizing the number of times I use that dimension. I'll repeat the process for the right side of the box, creating a sketch plane to draw it on. I'll draw the side, the rectangle for the side. I'll turn the front sketch off temporarily because I want to make sure I'm making the sides coincident with the top sketch and not some point on the front sketch. I turn this front sketch back on because I'm going to need it here. Instead of defining the height again, I'll just reference the front sketch. So I'm reusing dimensions in other sketches where possible. Once again, I'm drawing a construction line to represent the thickness of the opposing side, the mating side, and using the same technique to draw the bottom, but this time the only dimension I really need is the rabbet depth. The thickness of the slot and the offset I can reference from the front sketch. Now I've got the sketch for the bottom slot done. Let's save the file. And now create an assembly from the part. Mate the top, front, and right planes to the assembly to lock the skeleton sketch part in place. And we're done. So we've got the beginnings of the assembly and the first part, the skeleton sketch part in. Let's save it.